Okay, so I hope my screen is visible. Can
Yes,
anyone confirm?
yes, sir, visible.
Yeah. So, why we require this particular set of knowledge? Because based on this knowledge, there are many things available in market and job market. Whenever you will be going for the job, you all will be tested for this, at least the knowledge of the core Java. Okay, so that is why it is very very essential to have the basic skill set regarding this. Now, as far as my knowledge is concerned, I have certain level of experience. At the same time, I have cleared the certification also. Okay, so that is why I just felt that you people should be also knowing this. So without wasting much of the time, we will start with this. Okay, so core Java. So here what we are going to see is how the syntax of Java is there, as you must be knowing the syntax of C and C++, and there is a basic difference between these languages like C, C++, and Java. As you can see, the Java language and C++, they are object oriented programming language, while C is a procedural oriented language. So can anyone tell what is the difference between these set of languages, like why and how we are saying that C is a procedure oriented language while C++ and Java are object oriented languages? Can anyone elaborate on this? Yes. Okay. So, the basic difference between these languages, like C, if you consider the C language, then that C language is called as a procedure oriented language. C is a procedure oriented. Why? Because we are going to divide our program into number of procedures. Procedures मतलब methods या functions. मेथड या फंक्शन जिसे बोलते हैं हम, मेथड या फंक्शन मतलब प्रोसीजर. So whenever we got any problem to get solved using C language, our our motto is that uh, we will be dividing that complete whole problem, big problem, into n number of smaller problems. Okay, this is the procedure oriented language scenario. That suppose I am doing the calculator function, अगर मुझे कैलकुलेटर डिजाइन करना है, so what I will be doing, I will be calculating or I will be designing the calculator by using say addition, subtraction, division and multiplication. These will be the my procedures मतलब functions. तो मैं क्या करूंगा, बेसिकली आई विल बी डिजाइनिंग फोर फंक्शंस एंड बेस्ड ऑन द requirement of the user I will be calling one or more function. So that is why it is called as a procedure oriented language. Okay, but here there are certain drawbacks. If you see that C language has certain drawbacks, that every time there can be a vulnerable you can say variable which can be manipulated by all the processes. Okay, all these processes can simultaneously access a variable, and that is nothing but your global variable. ठीक है, ग्लोबल वेरिएबल जो भी रहेगा आपके प्रोग्राम में, सी प्रोग्राम में, तो दैट ग्लोबल वेरिएबल इज बाउंड टू गेट एक्सेस बाय ऑल द मेथड्स irrespective of whether they should access or not. That means more or less we are compromising with the security of the variables. Okay, that is the biggest problem over here. But when we come to Java or C++, okay, specifically to Java, then we are not designing, or we are not bifurcating our program into number of functions. But what we are doing, we are going to divide that into number of classes. That means now here the complete scenario is that there will be one class, and this one class will be responsible for a certain task. Okay, so this class will own its own variable, its own methods, and only this class will be able to access these variables or methods. Okay, so everything over here in Java programming language is in the form of objects. Okay, is in the form of objects. So जब भी कुछ हमें करना है तो we are going to design, or we are going to think in terms of objects. Are you able to see the scribbling on the slide?
Yes,
Is
sir.
it? Yeah. So our basic scenario gets changed. Why? Because now it is the object that we are bothered about, or a class, not the functions. Okay, so all the variables and related functions are bundled together into one entity, and it is called as a class. ठीक है, तो सारा का सारा यहाँ पे एक हमने बंडल क्रिएट कर लिया, एंड दैट बंडल इज नोन एज अ जावा क्लास. Okay, so that is why this there is a difference between these, altogether thinking difference is there when we program in C and when we program in C++ or Java. Okay, so that is the basic difference why we should learn Java and how it differs from the C language. Okay, specifically how it is procedure oriented and how this language is object oriented language. Okay, so we are going to see these type of programs, that is standalone Java programs, that is known as the application. These are known as applications, standalone Java programs. And then there is a Java applet which runs on the browser, and then there is a Java servlet also. Okay, we are not going to see servlet, but servlets are at the server side. So these are the server side components which are developed in Java. They are known as Java servlet, while Java applets are the components which are run on the client side, that is client's browser, that is known as a applet. Okay, so this is the basic idea behind it. Then why you require the knowledge of Java? So it's hot, of course, even after 25 years, I think more than 25 years, this programming language is ruling the programming world. So still it has n number of opportunities. Then it is entirely object oriented, almost entirely. Why? Because only the what you can say, the operators, plus, minus, division, multiplication, and the relational, and all those operators. Except operators, everything in Java is object. You name anything, your array is a object, string is a object, everything is a object in Java except these basic operators. Okay, and that is why the word is almost. Okay, so it has a vast library of predefined objects and operators. Okay, and it's most platform independent. That means now you have a freedom that you can run the Java program which is written in say on the Windows platform. With the program, you can ship that program on Mac operation, Mac Mac machine, or Solaris machine, or any other platform. Okay, so this makes it great for the web programming because it deals with the heterogeneous kind of hardware, and web requires this kind of capability, and that is why it is very important to have this type of capability. Okay, and it's more secure, and it is not C++, it is more than that. Okay, it is just not C++, but it is C++ minus minus. Okay, if I want to say, I will say it is C++ minus minus. Why? Because all the drawbacks which are there in C++ language are overcome by the Java programming language, and that is why in a single statement we can say that Java is C++ माइनस माइनस. ठीक है, तो जावा क्या है? C++ माइनस माइनस. दैट मीन्स C++ तो है ही, उसके अंदर के जो ड्रॉबैक्स है उसको माइनस माइनस किया, एंड दैट इज व्हाई इट इज very easy to learn this programming language. Okay, it is very easy to learn the programming language like Java. Why? Because it is very simple. Okay, so applets, servlets, and application. So applets designated to be embedded in web page, so it runs in a sandbox. So what is the meaning of sandbox? That it has no permission to access the local machine. It cannot access the resources of the local machine, and that is why it is more secure. There are no chances that a Java applet can send a virus. Okay, so that is why it works in a sandbox. Okay, then a servlet is designed to be run on the web browser, so it is a website server side component. Applet is a client side component, and it is the application which is meant for the standalone machine. Okay, so application is for the conventional programs. Okay, so building standalone Java, so you have these type of things. So you will be creating the Java file with .java extension. Okay, and then for compilation, now it is a uh, two-way process. Okay, two-step process. That means you need to compile and you need to interpret. Okay, so compile करने के लिए this is the command for compilation, java c, and the name of the file .java. And then this, if suppose this program gets executed successfully, then it will be creating the dot class file, and this dot class file, which is an intermediate file, which is neither the source file nor the object file or the destination file or executable file, this dot class file is very important intermediate file which can be executed on n number of platforms without making any changes in the source code, and that is why it is known as platform independent language. That means it doesn't matter कि आप विंडोज पे प्रोग्राम कर रहे हो या लिनक्स पे या और कोई प्लेटफॉर्म पे, it doesn't matter. Whatever platform you are using, you can utilize the program written on one platform in another platform on another platform without making much of the changes, or even sometime no changes are required. Okay, but the next step is a interpretation step. That is, now you are going to interpret this dot class file with the Java command. Okay, so Java C is a command for compilation. Okay, ये जो कमांड है Java C, ये कमांड क्या कर रही है? This command is कंपाइलिंग द प्रोग्राम. कंपाइलेशन करना मतलब क्या है? डॉट जावा फाइल को डॉट क्लास फाइल में कन्वर्ट करना. So it is doing that. Okay, so it is compilation process that is done with the help of Java C, and the interpretation process is done with the help of command Java. ठीक है. So it is a two-way process. First step, you will be compiling your program, and then you are interpreting the program. That is how your Java program will get executed. Is it okay? समझ में आया इतना? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Anyone
Yes,
has
sir.
any kind of doubt up till now? No doubt? Should we move further?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So there is a concept of Java virtual machine. So this Java virtual machine, the dot class file is generated by this compiler, and they are not the binaries. They are not the executable binaries. So as I have just told you, it is an intermediate file. You cannot execute that file as it is. Okay. So it is not executable file. It is not .exe file. .exe मतलब क्या है? Executable file है, but dot class file is not your .exe file. Okay, so Java combines the compilation and interpretation, and that is how there is a concept of Java virtual machine, because this Java virtual machine is going to work on the dot class file that is generated by the compiler. That means now we are moving towards the process of interpretation. So पहली स्टेप हो गई कंपाइलेशन, दूसरी स्टेप क्या हो गई? दूसरी स्टेप में वी आर गोइंग टू रन द थिंग्स ऑन जावा वर्चुअल मशीन, which is nothing but they are going to interpret the program. So instead they contain the bytecode to be executed by the Java virtual machine. So Java virtual machine किसे एग्जीक्यूट करने वाली है? बाइट कोड को. और बाइट कोड कहाँ पे है आपका? डॉट क्लास फाइल में. सो डॉट क्लास फाइल विल कंटेन द बाइट कोड. Okay, so this approach provides the platform independence and the greater security. Okay, so that is why it is a platform independent language. Why? Because you are going to create the Java byte codes, and these Java byte codes are executed by the Java virtual machine. Okay, and mind it, the Java virtual machine for different platform will be different. Okay, तो जावा वर्चुअल मशीन अलग अलग रहेगी, लेकिन आपका जो बाइट कोड है, जो डॉट क्लास फाइल है, वो अगर आपने विंडोज के लिए एग्जीक्यूट की या विंडोज के लिए रन किया, तो वही की वही फाइल आपकी दूसरे प्लेटफॉर्म में भी एग्जीक्यूट हो जाएगी. ओके, सो दैट इज हाउ द प्लेटफॉर्म इंडिपेंडेंस इज achieved. Okay, so this is a sample program. Simple program is given, and this is called as a application. That is why the standalone is written over it. Okay, so hello world.java. So this is a simple program, hello world.java. Okay, and this program, if you try to understand each and every concept of this program, there are n number of concepts from Java which are hidden in the single 2-3 line code. Okay, so what is there in this hello world program? We will try to understand the beauty of this code. Okay, so the first thing is that everything in Java is there inside a class. You can see every code should be there inside the class only. Once the class closing brace appears, then you cannot write any code which can be part of this class. Okay, so each and everything from this is inside the class only. Okay, so you can see over here public class hello world. Okay, So this is modifier which tells that the class is public. That means anyone can access it. Okay, so public class hello world. So class is a keyword over here, and hello world is a name of your class. Then opening curly brace, and then you are writing a method which is by default available in Java, that is called as public static void main. Okay, so it is a main method. That means it is a starting point of execution of any Java program, but it has another set of modifiers, that it is public in nature. That means everyone and anyone can call this method, and moreover it is static in nature. The meaning of static in nature means that this method does not require to generate the object, to instantiate the object first to call this method. Otherwise, in Java, there is a rule that if you want to call a method of a class, suppose this is your class and there are certain number of methods in this class, and if you want to call these methods, say 1, 2, 3, 4, these are the four methods which are there in the class. Suppose I want to call the method number 4, then the procedure is that I will create the object of this class first. Suppose this is class L or class O, then I will create the object of this class O, and then with the help of the object I will be calling the method number 4213, whatever you want. Okay, but this method is having a speciality that it is static in nature. Static in nature का मतलब ये हो गया कि memory में the first instance, whenever this program is loaded into memory, this method gets loaded first. सो जो भी स्टैटिक वेरिएबल होते हैं, जो भी स्टैटिक मेथड्स होती है, वो मेमोरी में सबसे पहले लोड किए जाते हैं. Why? Because they are required to start the execution of the program, and that is why main method is a starting point of execution of any Java program. Okay, so public static void main. So it is static in nature. Why void? Because it is not returning anything, and that is why the return type is void. पब्लिक क्यों है? क्योंकि कोई भी कॉल कर सकता है. स्टैटिक क्यों है? क्योंकि मेमोरी में फर्स्ट लोड होना चाहिए. वॉइड क्यों है? बिकॉज दिस मेथड इज नॉट हैविंग एनी रिटर्न स्टेटमेंट. रिटर्न कुछ भी नहीं कर रहा ये मेथड, इसलिए वो वॉइड है. एंड देन main is the name of the method. Main is the name of the method, and then there is something inside the parenthesis. What it is? Can anyone tell what it is? String args. क्या है ये? Yes.
So string is a predefined class and args means array का argument.
Okay, very good, Prachi. Any other person who wants to add? See, the concept is very simple, that it is accepting one argument which is nothing but the array of string. Why array? Because you can see over here there is a square bracket. This square bracket represents that this is a array. Now array है तो ये कौन से टाइप का है? It is of the type string, and as I have previously told you that everything in Java is object, so string is also a object. Okay, string is also a object, so it is accepting the argument which is of the array of string. That means whatever you will pass, this is going to create it as a string. Okay, so this is clear. Public static void main string args. इतना clear हो गया?
Yes,
now
sir.
Yes, now the next statement, now there is a opening curly brace. That means this particular statement, system.out.println, is embedded inside the method. That means this particular statement is part of main method. That means ये coding जब भी execute होगा तो what you will be seeing on the screen, you will get to see the message hello world. So now what is this system.out.println? So system is the name of the class. See, system is name of the class, then out, and there are number of other what you can say, there are, these are objects which are created, these are the streams, more specifically these are the streams. Okay, streams मतलब क्या है, जैसे पाण्याचा ओढा असतो ना वैसा. Okay, so these are the streams, these are the out, there are three streams, out, in, and ERR. These are the three standard streams which are created. Okay, so system dot out मतलब जो आउटपुट करना है और कैसे आउटपुट करना है, by using the println method. So this is a predefined method. Println is a predefined method which is defined in the system class. Okay, so all these are readily available for you. You are just calling these system.out.println and you are passing the message hello world, and that is how this method is going to print hello world as a message. Okay, so you can see that string is inbuilt and println is a member function for the system.out class. Okay, so system is a predefined class and out is its one of the stream, and with the help of that out stream we are calling the println function. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So comments, they are just like C++. So these are your single line comments. Okay. These are the multi-line comments, and these are specific comments which are called as Javadoc comments. Now why Javadoc? Because even by simply running your program, you can generate .html file for your program. ठीक है, जावा डॉक कमेंट का मतलब क्या होता है कि जावा डॉक में आप जो कुछ लिखोगे उससे आपको .html फाइल जनरेट करके मिल जाएगा. ओके, एंड दैट इज व्हाई दीज आर द स्पेसिफिक कमेंट्स व्हिच आर अवेलेबल इन जावा, व्हिच आर आई थिंक नॉट अवेलेबल इन एनी अदर प्लेटफॉर्म. ओके, so that is it. The single line, this is a single line comment, this is a multi-line comment, and again this is a multi-line comment, but it is a Javadoc comment. That means whenever you want to have the documentation of your program, that is, you can generate the .html file with the help of this Javadoc comments. Okay, whatever you will be writing in Javadoc, it will be creating a .html file for that Javadoc comments. Okay, then data types and all those things we will be looking at, and more or less they are just like your C language. Okay, more or less they are just like your C language. Okay, so here we will